Thanks for tuning in to 101.3 BKMG The Farce, coming to you live from separate places, pre-recorded. Now presenting The Bane and Mickey Show. And that's when we do a round of applause.
Yeah.
It's just me clapping for 10 minutes while Kendall's
I think that's how you need to start this episode.
What? I was actually...
We did it, everybody. We're recording a podcast.
We're recording.
Whoa.
Yay. I was actually going to say, did you know that if you soak a raisin in grape juice, it turns into a grape? That's a rock fact.
Oh, boy.
Anyways.
Rocks are always just full of facts. They're like fortune cookies.
They are, you know?
But with less useless info. And you don't have to break them.
That's true. Well, welcome back. We're here today with a lovely guest. Jack Collier has made his return onto the Bane and Mickey Show.
I'm back with a terrible vengeance.
Bum, bum, bum. Just like he promised us. Ah! Insert psycho sound of violin strings. Yeah. Jack, do you have your rock?
It's somewhere.
Wow. Okay, never mind. Whatever.
I don't have a rock, but I have
Not a true
the
fan
rock.
over here.
I have the rock. Dwayne, you want to come over?
Oh, whoa. Dwayne the Rock Johnson? Nah. Today we're going to talk about Over the Garden Wall, which is one of Jack's favorite things ever.
Yeah.
And yes, but before we get into that, Jack, have you seen anything good recently?
Everyone, you need to drop everything you're doing, log into Netflix and watch a show called Kentaro, the Sweet Tooth Salaryman. It is the most charming thing I've ever seen. It just gives you a warm, fuzzy feeling in your heart, while also just like, huh, and what comes out of your mouth.
This
basically,
is oh no, keep going.
It's a show that was made in Japan, and then in 2017, and then Netflix decided to take it, slap their Netflix original logo on it, and say, hey, it's one of our things. But it's a manga adaptation about a guy who works at a publishing company, and basically his whole thing is that he is obsessed with sweets, with desserts, all those fancy things, but he doesn't want to show it to all his coworkers. So when he goes out to sell books to different bookstores, he will skip work, and it'll be kind of like it almost transitions to a food show where they spend the episode kind of going over what the dish of the day is, but then kind of they work kind of the things around that dish into the drama aspect of it too. So it's like partly a food show, partly a fictional drama, but it just works so well.
And this is live action, correct?
It's live action, yeah.
Cool. When you told me about it, I thought it was a movie, so it's cool. It's a TV show. Does it have more than one season, or how many episodes?
It only has one.
Into, you know?
It only has one season. It's probably not gonna get any more because it did air in 2017.
I don't know, Jack. It's a Netflix original now.
I mean, they did revive one Japanese TV show with Netflix, so who knows? Maybe it will get another season.
Who knows?
But another thing that must also be noted is that the main character, he takes foodgasm to like a whole nother extreme.
I was like, how is this show, Jack, acceptable? And you just nailed it right there.
But after he takes that first bite, they go into like a surrealist dreamscape, where they enact kind of some weird kind of fantasy. Like I forget what the dish was, but they take a bite and he gets transported to like on top of a rooftop, and then everybody else in this fantasy has a head that is like sweet tofu. It's bizarre, but it's also amazing.
Interesting.
Fun. I'm trying to figure out what that reminds me of a manga or a comic that I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. And this is not kind of related, but it's a guy who's a food psychic. Like he has psychic powers, but based on what he eats, he like knows the origins of it, and he becomes a detective because he's at a restaurant and he accidentally gets like the tip of a finger in his soup and he eats it, and then he knows like, oh shit, like this is what happened, blah blah blah, and then people are like using him for detective things, but that means he has to eat
Gross
stuff.
So
I don't remember what it's called.
So they force him into cannibalism to
Kind of, yeah.
solve crimes.
But it just made me think of that because every time he eats something, he then goes into this like story of wherever the origins of the thing was. So he doesn't like to eat stuff because like, you know, he could eat a hamburger, but then he knows exactly where the beef came from and like
oh no.
It's you know, yeah.
Gross.
Anyway, moving on. Gavin, have you seen anything good recently?
I watched that HBO show, The Flight Attendant, with Kaylee Cuoco. That was a really interesting thrill ride. She drinks a lot.
Is that a show or a movie?
It was a show.
Oh, okay.
Well, was it good? Because it looked kind of like when I saw the trailer.
Yeah, should I take
like
it off my list or not?
But I feel like the mystery element actually, it's a lot better when you actually watch it. I don't feel like the trailers do it enough justice. And it's 8 episodes, I think.
Okay.
8 episodes. They're hour long, but it's not like a giant time commitment.
Yeah.
They're going to do another season, but like if you never watched it again. Plus it has Michelle Gomez from Doctor Who.
Nice. Cool. So,
speaking of HBO series, I've been binging through their docu-series on the Atlanta child murders.
Oh.
Pleasant.
They have a lot of good true crime docs on HBO.
They do. They really do. Everyone else needs to get it together.
Netflix just released another one, though.
Yeah, on The Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I recently watched Alex Rider, the TV show, because they finally made it accessible in the U.S., which is stupid. Although I'm glad the Brits produced it because we suck at making adaptions, but this was actually really decent of an adaptation. And even if you don't know the stories, it's perfectly entertaining. Like my parents were watching it and they liked it, and they never even picked up one of those books. But I will say though, I mean they follow the books pretty well, but it's also like, since I know all of those stories like back to front, then it's kind of like you watch the show and it's not suspenseful because you know the answer and the outcome, but it's still good. And the show is based on the second book because they can't do the first one because of the stupid movie that the Americans made in like 2004.
Stupid the Americans.
I know, but they are making a second season that's going to be based on the fourth book because they can't do the third book because it's like basically all underwater and like production value. But they were supposed to film it over the summer and then they had to postpone it. But I think they're filming it in February or March.
Why did something happen?
I don't know, you know. But yeah, I would say, you know, if you like spy stuff, watch it. It's good. And if you liked the Alex Rider books growing up, it's good.
Never heard of
Like a
this
fan about
man
it all day.
before.
It's a teenage spy doing spy
Wow.
shit for a branch of the
Is
MI6.
is he like Agent Cody Banks?
No, he's like legit.
British Cody Banks. Little
He's
James
like
Bond.
a young James Bond. Yeah, no.
Can we get a British adaptation of Agent Cody Banks?
I mean Alex Rider because it's taken seriously, and that's what the British.
Can we just get a third Agent Cody Banks, actually, with
Where
Frankie
he-
Muniz returning?
goes to England and has to go undercover?
But there's no time jump at all. It's still like him the next year.
Oh my god.
And he's like 18 and trying to graduate college or high school or whatever he's doing.
God damn.
And then you can have Anthony Anderson come back.
Great. Okay. Jack, are you ready to sing Into the Unknown? And I'll get out my piano and we can. I'm just kidding. I don't have my keyboard.
Over the mist, through the milk light of moon, all that is lost is revealed.
Okay, that's probably all you can sing before we get.
Please don't sue us.
Before we get copyrighted. I love that song. I love all of the music.
Potatoes and molasses.
Yeah, I was annoying Jack in quarantine by playing that on the ukulele.
And then I found a remix on YouTube called "Potatoes and Low Asses."
Oh, interesting. Well,
I feel like in a perfect world you could have all three.
I guess to start, let's do a little overview for those folks who have not seen Over the Garden Wall. Although at this point, what are they doing with their lives?
Yeah, if you
If you
haven't
could-
seen Over the Garden Wall, you failed. You failed as
Honestly,
a human
until
being.
this podcast, I had never even heard of it.
That's fair. Jack, if you could describe this show poorly using like a very short sentence, how would you?
You have 10
Um,
words.
Yeah, this is like an elevator pitch, but like
Oh God.
but like a not very well like a like a bad version.
Like, describe your favorite movie badly.
Yeah. But
Two kids traverse
you don't actually have to
the
count 10
unknown.
minutes. It's fine.
No, I'm gonna do it. It's gonna happen. I'm at 5.
That's all your
Traverse the
words.
unknown
And meet creepy people.
to get home alive safely.
Okay, but that's the real version. That's what actually happens. How would you poorly describe it?
A little kid with a teapot on his head.
Has an acid trip in the woods.
I wouldn't say an acid trip. More he just
A
he
shrooms
sings
trip.
some song. He sings some songs and then gets turned into a tree before his brother saves him and they go home.
Yes. Yeah. Although I would say they do have a couple trips in there. Yeah, Over the Garden Wall. It's a little animated show from Cartoon Network.
A mini series.
Miniseries, yeah, from Cartoon Network.
The first Cartoon Network miniseries.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it follows these two brothers as they venture through the woods, trying to get home. And we don't know why they're in the woods or what they're doing until later. But they meet some kooky characters along the way, like a talking bird and some dancing frogs and some weird pumpkin
There's a-
people.
And a woodsman.
Quincy
And a woodsman.
Endicott.
Yeah. But it's really great. I would say it's a kids show. It's cute and youthful. It has darker twists and turns, but nothing more than like a Disney movie like opening scene.
I think a lot more than a Disney
Not
movie.
really. Have you seen like I don't know, if you showed Over the Garden Wall to a kid, it would be no more scary than like the evil villain singing in The Princess and the Frog or Be Prepared or something from The Lion King, depending how old the kid is. I don't know. or
I don't
or
know.
or
I don't know. I
freaking
think
opening
that's
to Tarzan. Like,
that's older Disney though. This is the clean modern era of Disney. No risks. No.
They just want to
okay, well,
traumatize you
I meant the older
psychologically.
Disney because that's what I watched as a child.
Well, you should have specified. This
Um.
is an intellectual podcast.
Oh, okay,
You
Gavin.
cannot have unfounded
Let me just
opinions
stroke
and
my
thoughts free
mustache and
flowing.
adjust my monocle.
Let me sip my tea with my pinky out.
Oh yes, perfect. Uh,
I sip it with all of my fingers out. Like this.
no, you use your mind powers to float it into the air. Yeah, so I'd say it's pretty cute, pretty fun. Fun for all ages. I mean, and like it doesn't get super. I mean, I'd say the scariest part is like the last couple episodes. So like, you know,
I mean,
if you're worried about kids watching it, just don't show them the last episode or something.
don't they almost get turned into slaves at some point
Yeah.
by the witch?
Or the dog.
I don't know. But it's each episode, it's nice and short and sweet. The episodes are like 10 minutes. And there's like 10 of them, 11 of them. So it's really much longer than like a short movie. Not a short film, but like it's, you know, it's a little over 100 minutes. So.
Well, it was originally intended as just a Halloween special.
Yeah.
But then they decided to break it up into short stories.
I kind of like the short stories. It's cute. It's fun.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to sit there for an hour and a half if you don't have an hour and a half. You can just watch little bits here and there.
Little bitsies.
Yeah. It was released in 2014, so it's about 6 years old now. It's a little 6-year-old.
Little fella.
And if you're not enticed enough, it's got musical numbers.
Tell them some of the actors.
Melanie Linsky.
Elijah Wood plays the older brother.
Who?
Whoa.
Colin Dean
Who's that?
plays the younger brother. Yeah, Melanie Linsky, Christopher Lloyd, Jack
Doc
Jones.
Brown,
It's got Tim Curry's in it at some point. It's got
Yes.
you know, some good cast members, which is surprising too because you wouldn't necessarily know it until you look it up.
Wasn't Elijah Wood in those Duke of the Circle movies?
Yeah, Duke of the Circle. Love
Yes,
those movies.
I was like, what the fuck?
He duked that circle real good.
And then the circle duked back.
That was the second one.
Yes.
Well, yes, obviously.
And then the third one, of course, Return of the Duke.
Yes.
Kendall, why did you let us continue on with this bit?
Sorry, I was reading and looking something up. Anyway, Jack, why do you love this show so much?
It's just got that autumn vibe, you know. It's every time October rolls around, it's like this is the thing to watch. Even though it didn't end up being an outright Halloween special, it still got that
It still
vibe.
has a Halloween plot.
The entire series
Spoilers.
takes place from like the start of fall up until the first snow of winter. And it's got a little bit of mystery. It's got some of those kooky characters. All the comedy bits hit too.
Oh yeah, and it's like comedy for all ages too. It's not just like,
Yeah.
It's got some pretty good quips. It's also just adorable. And so stupid, like stupid in a good way. Just yeah.
I feel like it works best in those little 10 episode bites because I don't know if I could. I mean, I guess I did sort of just sit through all like 10 episodes at a time, but like I feel like the credits kind of give it a nice break. but just
Yeah.
watching it
Yeah.
all, like, I feel like
And
it
you
just
can get up and
doesn't-
go take a bath and break or grab a snack or whatever if you know.
And I don't know if it would take as well, all run together.
Yeah.
I don't know
like
how you spend your October
work
31st,
best.
Gavin, but I spend it by watching all the episodes in a row.
I usually watch
Well,
The
I
Shining.
think
I also do that.
Nobody cares, Kendall. This isn't
I
about
celebrate
you.
Halloween from January 1st to December 31st.
That's not.
Oh.
You missed a lot of holidays.
Who cares about the other holidays?
what about Labor Day?
Yeah.
That's when I
What
actually
about
get up and go
Arbor
take
Day?
a walk. In between films.
What about Arbor Day?
On Arbor Day, I
Yeah, think of the
um,
trees.
watch every scary movie that involves plants coming to life.
Little Shop
The
of
Happening.
Horrors.
Yeah. I also think it's so you've got the cute little brother Gregory who is cute and annoying. And everything he does is like reasonable for a child, but like it has reason to him, but it's also like so stupid and funny. But then meanwhile his older brother Wirt is just so existential, it's like relatable. And
Especially if you're a teenager.
yeah, especially if you're
Or anybody, really. Anybody under
or
the
if
age
you
of
just
30
haven't
right now.
left that teenage existential angst, like most of us in the arts.
If you never left your emo stage,
Yeah.
Wirt's very relatable because of his existentialism.
Yeah. Jack, do you have a favorite character?
I like Beatrice. She's snarky. One day you'll die and I'll laugh. Ha ha ha. Kind of attitude.
One of my favorite episodes, well, other stuff happens that makes it the best episode too, but is when she says that Wirt is a pushover, and then he's
The
like,
school one.
yeah, I think it's the second episode, and it's
Third
the second
one.
or third, and
Wait. Yeah.
he
Third. Sorry.
she tells him to do something, and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm too busy listening to what people tell me to do. And it's, I don't know, it's just funny. They have a great stupid relationship.
A good dynamic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like the Woodsman. Because he's cranky and he wants to be left alone and chop his wood and keep his lamp lit.
The beast is upon us.
Is upon us.
A beast is upon us.
Yeah.
That's not the beast.
That's the beast. And then yeah, I each episode or every other episode has like a little like 2-minute musical number, which they're really well written and they're really cute. You've got Potatoes and Molasses. You've got my favorite one is I'm the Highwayman. I make ends meet. Where Wirt is again trying to figure out his existential crisis. That's a good episode too.
The frog singing
Yeah.
along on the boat.
And you got your A plot of like every episode Greg is giving the frog a new name because he's trying to figure out what to name it. Fun fact, last year in 2019, math is hard.
2020 was last year, Kendall. It's 2021 now.
Ooh, got him.
Last year from Halloween. So the Halloween of 2019, Jack and Tina and I dressed up as Wirt and Greg and Beatrice. And we won a costume contest prize.
Yeah, we showed all those theater kids.
Yeah, we did. We got the best costume because we're that cool.
And because the judges just happened to be really into Over the Garden.
that too. We kind of played the room. But that's fine. I would say the costumes were pretty great. I mean, we had all the props. Meaning me, because I had a frog and a rock and candy.
I found a blue owl onesie and we all just pretended it was a blooper.
Yeah. And then we literally did what Wirt did, and we took like a birthday hat that we had used for Jack's birthday. We cut off the trim and then spray painted it red for Tina to wear. And then, yeah. So Tina was Wirt, and I was Greg, and Jack was Beatrice, and it was pretty good.
Tina wore it when she still worked at Bi-Mart. They had their little Halloween contest, and she wore her Wirt costume, and everyone was just like, "What the heck are you supposed to be?"
I'm a wizard. Yeah, if you know the show, you could make it work as single person, but it's a better group costume, I would say.
Definitely.
Greg and Wirt kind of remind me of Mabel and Dipper from Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's
one's just sort
a
of
good.
very eccentric, and the other one's sort of existential and neurotic.
Yeah, and that would explain the two of them quite well. Yeah.
For a more mainstream reference that some of you folks might actually know.
The kids, the youngins.
The little uns.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Rugrats.
The dynamic between them is pretty perfect because you have Gregory, who's just like into everything and like has no, like, he believes everything. So, they run into a talking bird and he just goes with it. And meanwhile, Wirt is like, why is that bird talking? Don't interact with that bird. And blah, blah, blah. And then my favorite parts are also when Greg like gives out a blood curdling scream. And then Wirt and Beatrice have to like run over and be like, what's wrong? And it's just Greg being excited about, whatever. It's not even like a worried scream.
Oh, Greg.
Oh, Greg. But yeah, I think
I'm an elephant.
It works quite well. And then they both have good character arc development, Wirt comes to accept himself as a angsty artist and grows in his confidence a little bit. And then also comes to love his brother, who he doesn't like that much because he thinks he's annoying, and he's mad at, they're stepbrothers, so he's mad at Greg, or half brother, so he's mad at Greg's mom or dad. He's mad at Greg's dad and his own dad and his mom, so he kind of takes it out on Greg. But he comes to terms with that, and then meanwhile, Greg kind of learns how to take things seriously and makes a sacrifice.
Does he?
Yeah, he makes a sacrifice for his brother.
I don't know. He still seems pretty goofy by the end.
Well, you can't take away
Only
his
a little more
personality,
serious,
Jack. You can have a character development.
He
but you
combed
can't take
his
away
hair
personality.
at the very last time we see him. He
And
combed his
that's
hair.
development.
That's growth.
If you,
And
Jack,
he finally
if you
settles
knew
on a name
anything
for the
about
dog.
story, you'd
So.
understand how significant that moment was. He's a messy-haired little teapot-wearing kid, and now it's combed.
It's an
That shows
elephant
he's
costume.
serious.
The symbolism.
Yeah, I know it's an elephant costume.
I'm an elephant, a headless elephant. Yeah.
I gotta say, that was a really great reveal that it was an elephant costume.
It's my favorite thing. Oh, well, yeah. And we're going to go with, I think we gave a spoilers disclaimer in like episode 1 of this podcast. So if you're
Probably.
shocked at this point, then like restart
Spoilers.
all our episodes. But yeah, because you spend the first time you're watching it, you spend the whole time being like, why is this kid wearing a freaking teapot on his head? And also, how does it fit his head? And there's like so many questions. And you can maybe be like, except Wirt's costume is like, who knows what era this is in. So he's kind of dressed whatever. And then, but you're still just like, why is this kid wearing a teapot? But yeah, to discover at the end that they're both dressed up for Halloween and that it's a freaking elephant, which also, like, the creativity for that little kid to put a teapot on his head and call it an elephant is, I don't know, props to Gregory. Just saying. But
it is really interesting because I feel like the show sets up something like much bigger, I think, than like what you end up getting, but like in a good way. Like it just feels like it's going to be a lot more like giant world-ending stuff, but it's just kind of actually a more contained sort of little story.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like, what is going on in any of this? And then, yeah, it's not as big as you think it is, in that, like, yeah, I don't know. Jack, how much of it would you say is real? And how much of it is
Um,
icy river trip?
um, I mean, who knows? You know.
It's up to interpretation.
Yeah.
Who
Well,
knows what is over that
one of the
garden wall,
big
you know? Don't
one of
cross
the
the
big
wires.
theories about the whole thing is that they are essentially just went through purgatory.
Yeah, and it does have a purgatorial arc through the story, too. Like,
Is that a word?
it is now. Uh,
Fair enough.
you know, but like you could make that connection. I haven't read Dante's Purgatory, but
You
I'm
mean
sure.
Dante's Inferno?
No, well,
No.
there's Inferno, Purgatory, and what's the last one
It's
called?
Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso.
Oh, Paradiso, yeah.
Paradiso.
But so I
It's
haven't read it, but I'm sure that there are references to to Purgatorio in the show. Which props to them who wrote the show. It was created by Katie Krentz and Patrick McHale.
It was Elijah Wood.
What?
What?
But that's who created it, and then a bunch of people wrote it. So if you want to know who wrote it, go look it up on IMDb because there's like 20 names. But and then Nate Cash directed it. I would say Tom Herpich, Katie Krentz, and Amalia Lavari were the overall, and Patrick McHale were the overall writers, and then they had a writer's room for
Completely over their head.
It's fine. But yeah, I would say it's good. I'm sorry that I'm trying to, carry an episode, and you two doofuses are over there.
Kendall, you should have known this was going to happen.
Yeah.
It's a good thing we don't have Noah on any of these yet, because that would be
nothing would happen.
90% just me laughing.
I think for that episode, I should just be absent and let you and Noah just do bullshit for 45 minutes and call it good.
Do you really want a 45-minute episode of me and Noah just laughing at each other?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll give the people what they want.
Is that not
hey,
like
Noah,
both of your reels combined? It's just both of you laughing and being.
Shut up. No, his is actually a good reel. Shows he can act. Mine's a reel that's like, look, I'm a dad.
The art style and the animation in this is also pretty. I think it's really good and nice.
It's good and nice.
Yeah.
It's very pretty.
It is pretty.
Both very pretty.
Yeah, and it's simplistic. Like it's not overtly complicated, and which is nice. I'm not that like complicated animation isn't cool or whatever. I don't know. It's just it's nice to look at. It's pretty. It's aesthetic.
Well, the style and the story and the characters, like nothing is like super. Like there are layers to it, and there are levels that are a little more like kind of complex and things like that. But there's also just plenty of surface stuff that you don't really like. It doesn't require a deep dive into it necessarily,
right.
But there's a lot there if you go into it. Like I was rewatching, and it was the pumpkin one when they were saying that the kids were too early because they weren't dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of like Easter eggy things to pay attention to.
Yes. Good thing I didn't remove this pumpkin.
I think it has a really good, like, evil entity plot with the woodsman, and then does the creature have a name? I guess it's just the actual woods. Oh, the beast, yeah. But the whole, like, you assume the woodsman is the beast, but he's really not, and then you find out the truth behind it. But also at the same time, you're like, it's a constant, like, worry that they have, despite meeting all these other questionable characters.
Well, and just the whole mystery and resolution of the beast, and the revolution of the woodsman, and why he actually keeps the candle lit or the lamp lit.
Yeah.
And he thinks that his daughter's in there, but then he realizes by the end that he's just keeping the beast alive. Spoilers.
Did you guys pause on that one frame where you actually see what the beast looks like outside of shadow?
No.
It happens at the end when the woodsman goes to attack him and he shines the lantern on him. There's like one frame where you see what he really looks like.
See, and these... Oh, wait. Maybe I just stumbled?
Oh, I didn't pause on it, but now I remember it. It's pretty disgusting.
But see, these are the little, like, Easter eggs and clues to look out for. Or at the very end, when they're putting up all the little wooden toys and figures, it's all the characters from that they came across. Okay, I'm looking at the beast. Oh, dang!
Threw up my turtle, and now
cool.
He's my best friend.
Oh, he's all the souls from the... Whoa. Oh,
Kendall, I think this one looks like you.
Wow. I would say look it up unless you have trichotophobia, then don't look it up. But otherwise, it's pretty dope.
It's pretty diggity dope, dog.
I also just like the I saw this really cool fan art piece of the beast and the woods and whatnot, but I just like the, like, kind of tree branchy horns, like in its shadowed form, what the beast looks like. It's pretty cool. The design in the show is really good.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, I need to stop looking at this photo.
That's how it gets you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What else do you have to say?
If you haven't seen it, do it.
Yeah, go I mean,
what are you doing? What are you listening to us for?
Right, and it's on Hulu. It's really accessible. And
it's short.
Yeah, and then the pilot episode is on YouTube. You can also buy the series on YouTube and Google Play, and probably iTunes. You know, if you have money to spare. But yeah, it's really good. It's really short. You know, you can go watch the episodes all together, or like one by one, you know, if you watch like one episode a day or whatever, or two. But
one episode every midnight for 10 days.
Yeah, there you go.
In the dark.
The 10 days of Halloween start on October 21st. Yeah, I like watching it on Halloween. I think we started that your sophomore year of college, Jack, or your junior year? I don't know. And that's when I was introduced to it. When we watched it.
Yeah, I found it like freshman year of college.
Which I guess was a year or so or two after it came out. Math is hard. But yeah, so I like to watch it every Halloween. And then some, you know, watch it every month or every other month or every quarter, you know.
Every third Thursday of every quarter.
Yeah. And it's fun also to just it's something also one of those things you can watch while you're doing just to have on the background in the background while you're doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
So candy trail, candy trail, candy trail. Anyways.
To people who haven't watched it, you just sound like a crazy person.
Well, yeah.
Why?
Yeah, anything else you want to say?
Tapioca.
Pudding. Potatoes and molasses. Which
who's got any rock facts?
What's the dinosaur one that he says? Oh, dinosaurs actually had ears or something? Hold on. I've got a list of rock facts. Oh, dinosaurs had big ears, but everyone forgot this because dinosaur ears don't have bones. And it's like ears are made of cartilage, so he's not wrong. Like dinosaurs could have had ears. But
you don't know.
Also, okay, talking about character development, Gregory rights his wrong by admitting that he stole the rock. He comes to terms with his crime. Oh, there's only 3 rock facts in the show. Apparently.
It's weird how like such
and that he stole the rock from the yard. That's a rock fact.
Like their bits are like so small and they go by so fast, but they're just so impactful that you can't help but remember them.
I know.
Like I think how you were saying how you love the Highwayman song, but I'm pretty sure that's less than a minute.
Oh, it's so short. It's so short, but it's great. Yeah, like all the songs are short in like a minute and a half, maybe.
But I feel like
even like Crabtree's Lament is like she doesn't even get through the whole alphabet. Like
no, she gets all the way to Z.
She gets to Y before
you just don't hear it all.
You can listen to it though on the soundtrack. The soundtrack is also so beautiful. Not just the musical numbers, but like the orchestral pieces are just beautiful, beautifully composed and performed. And you can listen to it on Spotify, where you can also listen to The Bane and Mickey Show.
The what?
Plug.
What?
What? The what?
The Bane and Mickey Show.
I think, Jack, you're thinking of the Jane and Ricky Show.
Oh, yeah. Don't get them confused, because they ain't the same.
I'm just remembering that one time Mickey Mouse fought Bane from Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we all remember where we were when Mickey Mouse kicked the shit out of Bane.
Wow. I'm pretty sure it went the other way around, but whatever. I don't know what fight you were watching, Gavin.
Mickey's a cartoon.
Yeah.
He survived so many explosions.
Remember Bane was like, I will now break your back, little mouse.
And he went, and then Mickey
went,
in your life, pal.
I'd like to see you try,
Hey, pal. Check out my gloved fist in your face.
Okay, well, let's do some random topic time while we're here.
I think we've divulged the conversation.
I know, that's why we're moving on. Okay, what color?
Bane versus Mickey.
Jack, what color?
Uh-huh.
Wait, before we get into that, I think when the pandemic is over, we should have an exhibition match. Kendall, you're dressed as Mickey. Gavin, you're dressed as Bane.
Do you not actually know, Jack? I'm Mickey.
Yeah. Why would I ever?
I mean, I don't think you guys ever told me who was who.
If you listen to our podcast, you would know.
Wow, Jack, do you not listen?
I think the last one I actually listened to was the one with Garrett.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
I'm behind.
Our good pal Garrett. Wow. Just because he's cool and interesting and has cool stuff to say.
Yeah.
Whenever we have guests, the episodes are much better. We all know it.
Although you guys just released one with Melissa, right?
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
it's
Couple
on
weeks
my
ago.
list.
Just like a month ago, Jack. What have you been doing?
The days kind of blend together.
You're just over there
I get
playing what's that game called? Um whatever calm.
XCOM?
Yeah, you're just over there playing XCOM
I
all day.
haven't played that in months.
Sure. Let me ask Tina.
You're the one who got me into Dead by Daylight.
That's fair. Jack just runs around killing people all day.
I'm done with that game.
And then he plays video games.
And then he plays video games. Yeah, no, if Gavin and I fought, well, whatever. We'll
I
figure
definitely
it.
have a size advantage, but I still feel like.
But
Kendall
I could just
probably
jump on top of you and like.
It's gonna be like that scene from Raising Arizona
No,
when he
that
jumps
would
on
be if
John
Kevin
Goodman's
and
back.
Gavin fought. Then it would be.
Oh yeah.
Me and Kendall would be more like Wesley and Fezzik from
That's
Princess
actually
Bride.
so true. Oh my gosh. Wait, that's great.
You know, you use different moves to fight 20 guys. It's different when it's just one.
Yeah, and I would just hang on the back and then like rip choke you. Headlock.
I could kill you now, but it's not sportsmanlike.
Anyway.
So you're saying you put down your rock, I put down my sword, and we try and kill each other like civilized people?
Yes. When are we going to talk about that movie?
Next week! Just kidding.
Just kidding, but we'll add it to our list. Okay, Jack, choose a color.
Periwinkle.
Is that bluish?
Periwinkle is closest to blue.
Okay.
Thought it was closer to purple.
Too bad, we're doing
Depends
blue.
on what Blue's Clues you watch.
That's true. What 80s kid trope are you?
Are we just going to go off like The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Because I don't know a lot about the 80s kids tropes, I guess.
Or you could choose like a Goonies character, or like
I'm the
Stranger
bully
Things kid,
from the
or,
80s.
the Lost
All
Boys.
the
Like
80s.
No, Jack, you're like the weird kid that nobody likes, but is secretly cool
oof.
in the 80s.
I'm probably like the Frog
Oh.
Brothers in the Lost Boys, reading comic books, hunting vampires. Or I'm Michael from the Lost Boys, living that vampire life. You know.
More like Anthony Michael Hall and all those John Hughes movies where he's shrimpy and nobody likes him because he's a weird little nerd.
But I'm not a sciencey nerd. I'm more like.
Not you.
Oh.
I was talking about me.
Oh, that's you.
This isn't about you, Kendall. Jeez.
I would say Jack is like Allison from The Breakfast Club, and I'm a mix between Bender and Allison. Which I don't know. Is there another?
That's a weird mix.
It is a weird mix, but you know what?
That's
why I went with the Frog Brothers.
I feel like I'm more of the I forget the Ferris Bueller's friend, the one who doesn't want
Cameron?
to.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm Cameron.
I'm
like, guys, we shouldn't be doing this, guys.
So does that make
I
me
was
Ferris?
related to Cameron.
And then at the end, I just have a meltdown and wreck a car.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, you're Cameron.
I was related to Cameron. I guess I'm more like the vice principal in both those movies, like Rooney and the other guy.
You get the
Vernon.
With the bowl, you get the horns.
Yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay. Here we got these popular tropes. Are you the aggressive drug dealer?
Yep.
Yeah.
These are these are like movie tropes, not like people. Oh, okay. Hold on. I would say the aggressive drug dealer is one of the tropes, though. Okay. What the
I
heck?
just watched a documentary about movies in the 80s, too.
What was it? The Netflix thing?
No, it was just called The Movies.
Ooh.
It was on HBO. It goes from the golden era, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Oh.
Who is the plot driving alien?
Who's the what?
The plot driving alien. It's an
What
80s
the hell does
trope.
that mean?
Oh, you mean like
You're an
E.T.
alien who drives
or...
the plot. Yeah, like E.T. or
Oh.
Alien.
I think that's you, Kendall.
Wow. E.T. go home.
Ouch. Elliot. Be good.
That just makes me think of what Maria was telling us about what Tucker said. He was like, why didn't they just throw E.T. away?
Oh, yeah. Why don't they just throw him away?
Oh, what a kid.
That's a valid point. Why don't they just throw E.T. away?
Who is what is the prophecy in your 80s what is your 80s prophecy in life? You know, like the Goonies map, or like trying to bring E.T. home. Or...
Was that a prophecy?
Prophecy is a broad term. What drives your story arc, Jack?
I don't know.
Well, as a doctor of archaeology, I've always wanted to find the Ark of the Covenant.
What?
But have no real effect on the story at all.
What song plays for your training montage?
Work Bitch by Britney Spears.
Okay, let's... Jack, choose another color. We're gonna do one more.
Green.
We can. Choose a different color.
Why is green not an option?
Yellow.
What is
why.
this? You
Yellow.
got if
We have blue, pink, and yellow, sir.
those
why.
are dumb options.
I'm sorry that we haven't run out of these sticky notes yet. And
But
that
if you only had
sticky
3
notes.
options, why did you say pick a color? Why didn't you just say blue, pink, or
Okay,
yellow?
pick blue, pink, or yellow.
Yellow.
Wow, Kendall. Maybe you should ship me that box. Maybe I should be in charge of it.
Yeah.
Would you go to a house if you knew it was haunted?
Fuck yeah! Like,
I would too.
is that even
Am I
a
gonna get
question?
murdered?
Probably, Gavin.
Well, then yes.
I would go and...
Or
Wait,
can I just hang out with the ghosts?
I mean, we did this, Jack. We went to the haunted lighthouse and stayed there with our friends.
You mean the haunted?
It was haunted.
Air quotes.
I'm sorry that you just don't believe in that shit.
I'm sorry that your definition of haunted requires you to drink a little bit and then wander around the lighthouse and be like, "Did you hear that? I think that was a cold
I was
spot."
more sober than 90% of us.
I don't know about that.
Whatever.
I was
Jack's a
completely
skeptic.
sober.
It's fine. Don't invite
I'd
Jack
have
to
to
your
be with
haunted
Jack on
house
this one. I feel like it's bullshit.
because you'll find out
But-
that
Hey,
he's the
hey!
serial killer.
It was a good time, but you can't look me in the eye and be like, "There is without a doubt that this place is haunted."
Remember in the middle of the night when you couldn't sleep because the noise, there was a whatever noise coming from the
Yeah,
hall?
and then when I brought it up to the group the next day, they were like, "Oh yeah, Julia screamed at some point in the night
It
in the
wasn't
other
a scream.
bedroom, or
Oh my
just
gosh.
did a yelp or something." And they were like, "Oh, it was that."
No, I wasn't
was-
talking about that. I was talking about the banging.
What banging?
Like the heater or the window curtain. It was a thing. Whatever. Anyways, we went to the lighthouse knowing that it was hopefully maybe presumably haunted. Jack is a skeptic. Don't believe him.
Presumed by
Everyone but you.
Ghost Adventure Zach Baggins.
Sure.
Because we all know we can trust Zach Baggins.
Yes. Yes.
Wasn't he a hobbit? I'd want to meet ghosts, but only if they were like the ghostly trio or the Boo Brothers, and they were just like kind of asshole ghosts. Like they're not going to kill you, but they're going to prank you pretty good.
Nah, yeah.
Would they even prank you? They kind of just bicker amongst themselves.
Well, I know that'd be the best part. They couldn't agree on it, so we just hang out and talk about the best way to prank me.
Let's get him! Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Yeah, yuck, 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 yuck.
Okay, before
Nothing. What's the matter with you?
These two idiots go off on another tangent, I think we should end it there.
I think they came for the tangents.
They came for the tangents, but they stayed for the cosines.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.